all new. That's what you get today.
Woo!
All new. Not only do we have a new doctor, not only do we have a new scenario, a new villain, not only do we have a new set, we are definitely here to talk about this brand new special of Doctor Who. So we're not gonna wait 1 minute. Right now, let's get into it. Oh my God! So no,
we everybody that's watching this has already watched the episode.
Absolutely.
So, spoilers if you haven't. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it so bad.
Just do it. Let's throw down. I love this. I think everything. I thought it was really cool. So the one thing I really loved is, those of you who don't know, the idea of the Toymaker actually comes from an old episode that's actually considered one of the lost episodes. And through this and that, they have pieces of it. And I think on YouTube, and I'll share in the description below, there's they posted a link to this 16 minutes of it that they were able to put together, or rescue, or whatever. There was a big fire in the BBC a long time ago. A lot of those original prints and whatnot have been lost. But he was the celestial Toymaker, and it was the first Dr. William Hartnell who faced him. And it was such a stupid ending, but it's brilliantly, wonderfully innocent 1960s Doctor Who, and it was so. I watched it with boyfriend Know It All, and yesterday, and because in preparation of watching the main one today, because I wanted some context. I mean, I kind of knew sort of who the celestial Toymaker is supposed to be, and so seeing him, David Tennant describes him correctly. He's a force of nature in this thing.
Yeah.
What are we fighting?
An elemental force, beyond the rules of the universe.
What's that supposed to mean?
And I think that's the part that really had me blown away, is that you see the Doctor is who the Doctor is, but the Toymaker is something different. The closest analogy I can come up with is that he reminds me of Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman. And Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman, for those of you who don't know, is he's a fifth dimensional being who can literally, because of how the laws of physics work in his universe, when he came to our universe, or the real universe, so to speak, he can manipulate things. He can manipulate matter like it's a toy, frankly. And so it makes him for a very scary opponent. The one thing that I love is the Doctor says because Donna, they're going to play a game. It's literally the scene over my shoulder, and he says, "I challenge you to a game."
I challenge you to a game.
And so when he does that, he literally, Donna's like, he's gonna cheat, and they both look at her.
Ace is high. You choose. I'll go first.
But he'll cheat.
No, shame. That's the one thing he won't do.
Are you crazy?
You would she had cursed them out.
Totally.
How dare you?
And the Doctor's like, no, you understand. The only thing he will obey is the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Whatever the game is. And they literally just play a game where you cut a deck of cards, whoever has the highest card, it's basically high card wins. And it's so funny because the games were so minor.
Yeah.
So in essence, the episode in short begins in the past, back in 1925. Someone is inventing television or some version of it there, and this one guy shows up in this little shop. The shop is where you see the first time you see Neil Patrick Harris's character. He's affecting a really bad German accent on purpose, and he sells him a shop dummy, and it's so that because I guess there's so many hot lights under the original TV thing, it was most likely going to burn whatever the subject was that was being recorded or being filmed. And then they jump to the future, to where we saw David Tennant and Donna, where everything is chaos, and so they go to Unit. Unit brings them in. You get to see.
They don't go to Unit. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Unit comes to them, and
picks them up.
They pick them up.
Literally, yeah. No, it's great.
And I forget whenever those scenes happen that they do fly the TARDIS themselves.
Literally.
With a helicopter.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. It's so funny because they don't do it that often. So when they do it, you kind of you chuckle.
And so I thought it was really cool because when he shows up, you get to see Mel, who is one of the Doctor's old companions from back in the day. And I love the fact that they're bringing more and more old companions, and they establish in some of the shorts that we've been seeing, these webisodes, that Kate has been recruiting old companions into Unit. In fact, she offer Donna a job.
And Donna was awesome.
It was so great.
She goes, I can give you 60. And she goes, 120 and 5 weeks vacation, done.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
I was like,
that was
right on,
it. She's like,
man.
she just wanted Donna.
No, totally. It was great, and it was just really cool. And then, so when then the doctor realized that he discovers a signal, because apparently they have a brand new satellite, much like the old Archangel network, which I thought it was so funny that RTD name drops the Archangel network because that was on his watch. That was one of the things he had created back in the day. And so it's like just like that, but the whole world is now connected. And the doctor reveals to them that this little laughing face that they found is in every screen.
Every screen.
And apparently has been since 1925. So what do? Hop in the TARDIS and they head back to 1925. And then we get to see the doctor face him, and it's that scene that they released last week. Man, it's such a great scene.
Donna, go back to the TARDIS. Go back to the TARDIS.
You never tell me to do that.
Oh, but he is recognizing me.
I love the way he, how the doctor goes, I know this face, in the beginning of the episode, he's
Yes.
like, I know this, it's coming back to me, I know what it is. And then finally, when he's there,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So good. No, really, so good.
It was really good.
And I was just, again, super proud of the whole thing, the way they put it together. Even though I'm like, why am I proud? But I am. I was like, oh my God, this is great. So then you get to see they walk in, they follow him. They chase him in the back because he says he's going to get away. The second oldest game, hide and seek. And so they go into this room. Unfortunately, they follow and they let the door close. If you saw the original clip, the 16-minute one from the past, from the old Celestial Toymaker, they entered the Toymaker's realm. They don't call it a dimension, they don't call it a universe, they call it a realm. It's something different. And it really made me think about that. The only way to get out is to beat the Toymaker at a game. So what does the doctor do? He didn't let the guy finish talking. Oh my God, remember the puppet show?
Yes. What? Yeah. So while they're stuck in the rooms, Donna, this is what I thought was really the way they explained it, the salt.
Yes.
And I was like, and then it was referenced again at the end as well. And we'll get to that in a minute. But the way it's you felt the doctor again take responsibility for making this happen.
So what are we talking about? At the end of last episode, or during last episode, the way he stopped the doppelgangers at first was he fooled them by invoking a child's game or a superstition, which is like a child's game, which is salt on the floor. You can't cross until you've counted every grain of salt. That was the game. Not the supernatural salt protects you from evil. That's not what he said. He said he used the child's game. Yep. You can't cross until you've counted every grain of salt.
Right.
He used it at the edge of known creation, known space, which was literally close enough for him to allow to almost like a beacon to the Celestial Toymaker. And I'm like, freaking RTD is so brilliant when he comes up with this stuff, man, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's so funny, but as the thing ends and the realm's closing up and he's gonna get away, he's like, we're gonna continue. Oh, because the Toymaker beat him. And the doctor says, I beat you, you beat me. What's the other rule that every player stands by?
And you know, two players are bound by one inviolable rule. Best of three. Best of three.
Best of three, baby. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so great. So the Toymaker, because he's all about the rules and all about games, is like, all right, cool. Then we're going to continue this in 2023. And then they're like, okay, so they got to go.
The display of Broadway that happens in Unit was...
Dude.
Horrible and great all at the same time. I say horrible because people turned into balls, but at the same time...
It was the Spice Girls.
And that was the other thing. It was the Spice Girls. I mean, they are in London.
I love it. I love it so much. No, it was great. You see him dance around, like you said, and they're trying to shoot him, and the guns are shooting balloons and flowers and all
rose petals.
These two guys try to attack him and grab him, and he turns them into a bunch of little balls. And then the one unit lady picks it up, the ball, and the dude's face is in it, which is horrific. Yeah,
that's what I meant by horrific at the same time.
And that's the scene that made me think he reminds you of Mixus Pitalik, because even what's her face is like, well, how is he doing this? And the doctor looks at her and says, if I tell you he plays with atoms the way children play with building blocks and can make him do anything he wants, would you believe me? And she's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. He's like, that's right. So why are we asking? Like, why are we having this? Don't even think about it.
My favorite is, are they dead? Yes, they're dead. I'm sorry. And keeps going.
He has to, because you got to keep moving. You got to figure it out. So then they're outside, and the little laser they were going to use to shoot the satellite in the sky to turn off his thing, dude has taken control of it. and he's literally about to shoot all kinds of stuff, and then he turns around and he shoots the doctor. Were you terrified when that happened? I know I sure as heck was.
And you
Didn't I
felt it. You like this is it. Like
Didn't I tell
it
you?
kind of like snuck up on us too.
I'm like, oh my God, we're here. He's regenerating. And I was literally like, I wasn't expecting. And I think I literally said, it's too soon. I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't ready. I don't know if any of you felt that way, but I was just like, what just happened? We're here already.
It was way too. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to David Tennant again.
No. So then he goes to regenerate, and something happens, and he's like, it's weird. And he asks, because Donna and Mel have both gone to stand next to him, to be with him at the end of this Face's life. And he goes, I need you both to pull really hard. And they do, and he begins to split into Ncuti Gatwa and the new doctor. And they're like, oh my gosh, hey, what's going on? And then he keeps pulling. And so literally, I can only conclude that David Tennant's standing there with no pants on. Meaning, I'm sorry, in British, pants is underwear. So he doesn't have any of his actual slacks on. He has his slacks on, but Ncuti's got the pants on, and Ncuti's got the shoes on. David Tennant's barefoot. Ncuti's also got
one shirt.
Yeah,
David Tennant's got the other shirt.
And the whole bit. It's just, and there's two doctors right there, and he says it was a bi-generation.
I have bi-generated. There's no such thing. Bi-generation is supposed to be a myth, but look at me.
They created a new piece of mythology, and I'm okay with that. Anybody who has a complaint about that, you're complaining about a show where a guy changes his face every couple of years to justify why the actor is different. You can make up anything you want.
It's Doctor Who.
Absolutely. And I love it.
Stay to the core, but
Absolutely.
it's still Doctor Who.
Yeah, I loved it a lot. And so then immediately the two of them say,
I challenge you to a game. There's two of you.
what did you think in that moment?
I was like, this is gonna be fun.
Totally. And I really dug Ncuti's personality.
I want to talk more about that in a minute,
Yeah,
but I am really excited to see where he's going.
Absolutely.
Because after we saw the previews for the next episode on Christmas Day, I can't wait to see what his actor's gonna do.
Same. No, same. I am also excited. But then they want to play with the ball, play catch. They play ball. And so the three of them are throwing this and that, and finally they make it. While I love Neil Patrick Harris's character, and I hope one day we do get to see him again. I love the character. I love what they did. And I think the problem I had was it ended so fast. He was such a dangerous threat. He was doing wonderful, amazingly hard.
Keep going.
And then it was just done. And I'm like, okay, I kind of wanted more. Not that he wasn't terrifying enough. But then they folded him up, they put him in a box, and then you said the thing.
So there's two things first of all, let's talk about the tooth.
That's right.
Somebody with red nail polish, which means to me that's a villain. It's a female villain. I don't know who it is, but somebody with a red nail polish has picked up the gold tooth that has, you said, the master in it. Okay.
So also, did you catch that part of their mythology? Apparently, the Toymaker found the master, and they lost a game, and he made Missy evil again, which is why we got the psychotic evil doctor who killed all the Gallifrey and did all the stuff that we saw in 13's run with Jodie Whittaker. Which I'm like, hey man, if RTD wants to go around cleaning up other people's messes because Chibnall couldn't write a good story to save his life, I'm down. Because all of it makes sense, and I'm okay with it now. Because now I understand stuff. It's not just, the master's evil for being evil's sake. And he was trapped inside the Toymaker's tooth. That's what
So the second thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you did, is when the Toymaker was in the box, she handed it off and says, now bind it in salt.
Right.
So they're back. I don't know. It might not mean nothing, but for the fact that he even threw that out there is to bind it in salt, and he is a child and, like games, is counting the things as salt. I have a feeling we're going to see him again.
Like usually, whatever, like
somewhere,
the time frame. Sure,
somewhere.
Sure. Oh, absolutely, I do. I absolutely do. And I think it's interesting because they're introduced. So there was an article that came out last week where that said that Russell is saying this is Ncuti seasons or his era will be more steep. They're introducing fantasy back. They're bringing more of that aspect. So there'll be more fantastic elements that aren't necessarily so grounded in science fiction, which I'm down for. Let's see some different things. You know what I mean? I just think it'd be exciting one way or another.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I this episode really, really did a lot for me in terms of really making me excited for what is coming next. And then when they're finished, they're like, what's going to happen? And there's 2 of them now. There's 2 doctors. And what I love is they explain that Time Lords, they do rehab backwards. Ncuti is the healed version of the Doctor. I believe in much the same way Matt Smith was the healed version of David Tennant's Doctor. Now Ncuti is that. And so David Tennant now has to make that trip to get there, to get to that place. And and Donna's like, and where else better? He gets to stay and have a family. Wow, wasn't that awesome, bro?
And he'll be part of Donna Noble's family, obviously, forever.
Yeah.
Generation after generation after generation.
And he got his own. I thought, okay, is a little cheesy and corny to me that he got his own TARDIS, how they got his own other TARDIS.
Oh, come on, that was so fun.
It was fun because he won his pride. It's almost like, it's just like how David Tennant said after he cut his hand off after he first showed up, well, it just so happens that in the first so many hours I can do this, and he regenerates a hand. It's like a MacGuffin-y thing. So same thing.
You won the game. You got a prize, honey. Here is mine.
Because he won, because both of them won.
You get a prize.
David Tennant used his prize to banish the Toymaker. Ncuti Gatwa used his prize to create another TARDIS. And so there's a second one. For some reason, he has a jukebox in his, because reasons and why not. And,
and
seriously,
orange lights now.
Yeah, and he decides to turn his desktop coloring to orange. And I was like, okay, bro, okay.
He's
Yeah, for real, it worked. All in all, I really loved when they sat there together having dinner or lunch or whatever, and the whole family's there, and you get this implication that even though he's home, because this is not the first time the Doctor's home has been Earth. Okay, remember back in the day, the third Doctor, who actually joined UNIT and everything else, was real big into being with UNIT and staying there and the whole bit, but seeing him having adventures, the implication is he's having adventures with Rose
going to Mars.
And totally, and I'm like, oh, bro, good for you, man. It's very cool. And again, I just get to know that that iteration of the Doctor and Donna, he gets to live with his best friend, and he gets to have that life that he's never had before. And I think it's pretty awesome, you know. And I love the fact Donna says it's like somebody in recovery. She's like, no, I don't want him going off and being crazy until he feels better.
Right.
So he's got it. He's in some form of he's recovering from the trauma of everything.
Everything.
And I mean everything. When 15 starts rattling off, he's like, bro, we haven't stopped.
Put on trial, exiled, key to time, all the devastation of Logopolis, River Song. Sarah Jane has gone. Can you believe that for a second? And Rose.
We haven't stopped since this and this and this, the Time War and this, and he names off all these things that the Doctors have gone through forever, since the old days to now, and I loved that continuity callback. It really made me happy to see that they were really just like, hey, this is legitimately all this stuff, and I feel like now we're gonna get this new fun-loving, excited. I'm excited for it, man. I think it'll be great.
I am too.
So there you go. Now you know. Knowing half the battle, you have to bring a note all yourself. What's an all index for this? For us,
we're probably going to agree. So because we didn't discuss it. Once again, we are not discussing stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10. I liked it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought the handoff and everything was great. The fact is, I was so scared, like to the point that I wasn't ready to lose David Tennant. I started crying immediately. And then when they did what they did, I'm like sitting there stunned and watching. And then the ending we did get also made me very teary, in that I just loved it. I really did.
I agree.
So yeah, comment below. Let me know what you think. We are going to be talking a little bit more about this, so stick around and come back. I'll probably release that on Monday, and we'll just have a conversation and talk a little bit more about the series, the three, all of them together, and sort of what the 60th anniversary has been like. So I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, man, is there anything else that you want to cover before we go?
I was a little disappointed that the toys didn't come back into play from when we first met.
Oh,
Rose.
but
that
Donna
did break
was
my heart.
Donna was dope. Remember when she strangled the one little doll, and she's like, and she looks at the little baby dolls and was like, "You got something to say?" And they're like, "No, we're good." And they packed up. I was like, right on.
We got scary toys anyway. So.
You totally did. No, they did. It was great.
Could you imagine though the ones that Rose was making coming to life? Like,
oh my gosh. Back in the end, that would have been terrifying. That would have been absolutely terrifying. So.
And while all of our suspicions, because none of our predictions came true.
No,
none of our predictions came
fun.
true. But I totally loved guessing.
Yeah.
And I'm really okay that David Tennant could throw his face in every once in a while still somewhere if they asked him to. Not sure he would, but it keeps that open, and so many other things then too. We could see Donna again. And
what do you think about our chances of getting a Unit TV show? Because they've really set up.
They set up.
Unit could be great, and now as a fan service thing, bring back multiple old companions, have them contributing, like make that a thing. Hey, the doctor leaves you behind, don't sweat it. You got a job here. And we're gonna do, and I'm like, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And Mel wasn't a normal companion who was left behind on Earth. Mel was off exploring the stars.
I loved that conversation. By the way, I forgot to talk about that. That entire conversation that they had. She's like, and she's like,
she caught a Zingo. What's a Zingo? It's the thing when you catch a Zingo. It's like a cab. I'm assuming. It's great. Yeah, man, I loved it. I thought it was so good. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and you can bring all them back. They made reference to Donna even working there at one point. So I think like a little companion unit thing would be great.
I love that. I love that so much. So all right, guys, I cannot wait to see you because Christmas is around the corner.
Christmas is around the corner, so we will be coming from Florida.
Yeah,
You'll be seeing us from Florida.
The house on Ruby Road. We're going to review on the road. Literally. So, and hopefully my voice will be better because my voice has gotten bad. I had gotten sick, which is why some things have slowed down on the channel, but I'm trying to a little bit better get recovered. So hopefully we'll get back up to speed. A lot of fun things coming up in the new year. I can't wait to talk more about that. I will put out a special video just about that. And hopefully we get to see each and every one of you again and again and again. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. It super duper helps us in the algorithms. Everybody know that you are a part of the Know It All Nation. I appreciate you guys taking this journey with us. I can't wait to do Doctor Who on the regular. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.